Hello, this is Yogeshwar 7000 again, and I'm back on my series on understanding the goddess. And in my last video, I did discuss about Parvati and how goddess Shakambhari manifested from goddess Parvati. Parvati, as we all know, is the consort of Lord Shiva, and what it represents, what it brought in terms of its blessings to the people, and what is the origin. So we had some understanding of the goddess. And today we'll have a discussion on another manifestation of a goddess. And this is again also a form of a manifestation of goddess Parvati. And goddess Parvati, as I've been talking, is the consort of Lord Shiva. So there's a connection with Lord Shiva. And goddess Parvati did manifest herself as goddess Durga. And that's another story which we'll discuss in detail in another video. But one of the manifestations of Parvati through Durga is Kali, and today we'll be talking about goddess Kali in particular. And goddess Kali is described in the ancient scriptures as a dark colored form of the goddess. And once again, I'm repeating, the origin is Parvati, who is the consort of Shiva. So goddess Kali is the feminine form and a black form, and it means basically it is the Hindu goddess which is associated with the force of time, the goddess of time, and of course the goddess of destruction. And she's dark colored, and you'll see her yantra in front of the screen. And every goddess is associated with a yantra, and what yantras are, we can have a separate discussion in another video. But yes, goddess Kali again is associated with goddess Durga, who is a manifestation of goddess Parvati, consort of Shiva. So it is seen, or she is depicted, goddess Kali is also depicted as covered in darkness, and also she is depicted as, sometimes in a picture you'll see she is depicted as posing with or standing or dancing on her husband, god Shiva. Now you're going to ask me, how is Kali the wife of Lord Shiva? Yes, because once again, goddess Parvati is the wife of god Shiva or Lord Shiva, and then Kali is a manifestation of goddess Parvati through Durga. So she's often portrayed, like I said, as standing or dancing on her husband, Lord Shiva. That's one way. And she is worshipped throughout India, but mainly in Bengal, India, and Assam, India, that's the northeastern part of India, and some parts of South India as well. In Calcutta, she has a couple of temples. One is the main Kali temple in Calcutta. So people who have visited, they know it's in the area called Kali Bari. And there's another temple which is in Dakshineshwar in Calcutta, where there's a big Kali temple. And Ramakrishna Paramhansa, the great saint, constructed that temple, and he used to meditate on the Kali, which is present there as a statue. And there's a long story about Ramakrishna Paramhansa and his association with Kali, and we'll have another video on that. But I just wanted to mention about these places of worship of Kali and what Kali is all about. Like I said, she's the black colored goddess, which is the goddess of time and destruction. Now, in Devi Mahatmyam, now Devi Mahatmyam is actually a part of, Devi Mahatmyam is a part of what's that Purana? It is the Purana, Markandeya Purana. I'm sorry. So in Devi Mahatmya, Goddess Kali has been described in detail, and Devi Mahatmya, like I said, is a part of Markandeya Purana, which has been written by sage Markandeya. And we'll discuss about Markandeya Purana in some other video. But I just wanted to give a reference of Goddess Kali from that particular Purana, and the part which describes Goddess Kali in Markandeya Purana, that is Devi Mahatmya. And Devi Mahatmya is a methodological story, and I don't call it mythology because I think it's true, so I don't like to use this word, but we'll use it for the purpose of discussion. And in that Purana or Devi Mahatmya, she is described as the destroyer of Rakta Bija. Now, Rakta Bija was a demon who was very, very difficult to kill in battle. And what the quality of that demon, Rakta Bija, was, Rakta means blood, Bija means a seed. So that's how his name was created. This Rakta Bija, that's one word. And he had some kind of a power that nobody or no weapon could destroy him. As soon as any weapon would hit him or kill him, the blood drops from his body that touched the ground would produce another demon similar to the demon Rakta Bija. So every time the Devas or the gods, when they were in a battle with the demons and they came across this demon Rakta Bija, they would kill him. The blood drops would drop on the floor, or on the ground rather, and another demon like a Rakta Bija, same clone, would come up and would start fighting. So he was like indestructible, and nobody could destroy him. And then in Devi Mahatmyam, it is described that while Durga was fighting the demons, Goddess Durga was fighting the demons. And once again, Durga is a manifestation of Goddess Parvati, who created Durga, or Durga came out of Goddess Parvati to fight the demons or the evil forces. So here, to kill Rakta Bija, Goddess Kali was created out of Durga's forehead. So it is described here in Devi Mahatmya that Durga's forehead, fierce with frown, issued suddenly Kali, armed with a sword and a noose, decorated with a garland of skulls. That's how Kali is described. Clad in a tiger skin. So she is a very, very fierce form of the goddess. And her gaping mouth, her mouth was open, and her tongue was coming out of the mouth. And she had reddish eyes, the tongue was out, and she was fierce looking. And she comes from the forehead of Durga. And how she kills Rakta Bija is very interesting, that she kills Rakta Bija and she would not let his blood touch the ground so that another Rakta Bija would be created. She would take all the blood on her tongue. That's how the tongue is represented. And that's one way Kali is depicted in Devi Mahatmya. In Devi Mahatmya also, she is described as the destroyer of two other demons other than Rakta Bija, and these demons were called Chanda and Munda. So Chanda, you can write Chanda and pronounce it Chanda. You'll get the pronunciation. And then Munda is Munda. Munda. You'll get the pronunciation. So other than Rakta Bija, she is described in the Devi Mahatmya as the slayer of Chanda and Munda, and she was given the name, or people started calling her as Chamunda because she killed Chandamunda. So once again, she is a Devi, or a goddess of. She's a dark goddess of who rules over time and destruction, and this is how she comes in her fierce form and kills the demons. And another form of Kali is called the Dakshina Kali, which is also a very fierce form, where I just mentioned to you that she is described as standing or dancing on her husband Shiva. That's the form of Dakshina Kali. And there are other forms of Kali, which is Shamshan Kali, Maternal Kali, Maha Kali, which is the Great Kali. Maha means great. So there are other manifestations of Kali itself. So it's very interesting, Parvati, who's the wife of Shiva, she manifests Durga, and Durga manifests Kali, and then Kali is further manifested in different forms, like we just discussed. As the slayer of Raktabija, as the slayer of Chanda and Munda, as Dakshina Kali, as Shamshan Kali, as Mahakali. And there are various temples all across India where Kali is worshipped in different forms. Now, astrologically, the planet Saturn is directly related to Kali. So when you have to perform tantric pujas for appeasing the planet Saturn, goddess Kali is worshipped. So astrologically, please associate. And this is a part of the Das Mahavidya. Das Mahavidya is 10. Maha means great. Vidya means knowledge. So the goddesses are also described as knowledge, because as we know, knowledge is power. So there are 10 forms of the goddess, which are extremely powerful, or 10 divine knowledge forms of goddess, thus Mahavidya, which are the extreme forms of goddess. And Kali is one of those. And the planet, like I just mentioned, associated with Kali is the planet Saturn. And we can discuss hours and hours on Kali, but this video is restricted to time, so we cannot go beyond this. But basically, I have given you an idea of what Kali is all about, where she's coming from, and where is she mentioned in the ancient scriptures, and what are the places of worship of Kali throughout India. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. In the meanwhile, I will recommend subscribe to my channel and check out my website. There is a link below, and I will continue with my series along with my other Vedic astrological videos in my coming sessions. Until then, goodbye. Thank you.